All right, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me now great pleasure to welcome another important speaker for a keynote speech. I'd like to call to the floor Dimitris Papadimoulis, who is the Vice President of the European Parliament, and he is here representing Roberta Metsola, President of the European Parliament. The floor is yours. Welcome to you, sir.
Dear Commissioner, dear colleagues, dear participants, I am very pleased to be here with you today on behalf of the European Parliament and its President, Roberta Metsola, to talk about the importance of tourism in Europe and beyond. Europe is the global leader in international tourism, with over 700 million tourists arriving in the region each year, and the rate of growth has accelerated during the last decade. Although a welcome development, the increase in visitor numbers brought its own challenges, as many destinations looked to find sustainable ways to cope with the high intensity of tourists. Nevertheless, the travel and tourism sector has had a positive impact on the European economy. Tourism contributes significantly to the European GDP, though this number fell significantly at 2020 as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, the contribution of travel and tourism to the European job market accounted for over 38 million jobs in 2019 and almost 35 million jobs in 2020 because of the pandemic. The post-COVID recovery in numbers of tourists in Europe has been unexpectedly quick. It shows that Europe is and remains a very attractive place to visit, and that Europeans still want to be on the move. The biggest challenge now is to be able to satisfy demand and at the same time to make tourism more sustainable and environmentally friendly. The European Parliament has always been and will remain a place for an open and frank debate on the best ways forward for tourism and transport sector. The Parliament calls for a new tourism strategy in coordination with all currently pursued policies. Having regard to the high number of Europeans working in tourism sector and the high social impact of tourism, we need to safeguard it as one of the big drivers of European economy. We need to work together with the airlines, airports, railways, hotels, other leisure facilities, the workers, and the local communities in order to strengthen this truly interconnected ecosystem. Both COVID pandemic and the current war in the Ukraine are huge disruptive factors, but not the only ones. Shortage of staff and the rise in energy costs further aggravate the situation of the sector. What is more, we are fully aware that the lack of stability in the transport sector in the last months, including the current problem of some of European airports, also adds to the suffering of your sector. We can work together to improve transport connectivity, help to organize training programs for new labor force for the sector, speed up the digitalization, and diminish administrative burden for companies operating in tourism. It is not a matter of choice, but a matter of necessity. It is the Parliament's position that the current challenges make it imperative to update our 2010 strategy on EU tourism. Concrete steps are needed in close cooperation with member states to find ways to help the sector adjust to the situation. The Parliament is ready to provide a platform for an open and frank discussion, as always. Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you very much for your attention.